Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I'm making a layout for Lottie Loves Paper. I'm delighted to have just joined the Lottie Loves Paper design team. I'm really happy to be there and this is my first DT assignment for them. I'm using the Crepe Paper Magical Forest collection by Crepe Paper and I'm using the sketch that Essie and Marie scrapped along live with together the other day on Sunday. So I thought I would, I caught their live, I sat here and I watched them the whole time. And at the same time, I thought I would make the same layout or the same sketch, use the same sketch to make my first DT layout today. So you probably saw the sketch and you can see it just there on my screen. So it has a large cluster over on the left hand side and a smaller cluster at the top. Now I struggled a bit with the cluster at the top because the cluster to the left was vertical and the one at the top was horizontal, and it just didn't seem to sit right with me, so I faffed around for quite a while and finally got there with something that I'm happy with. Okay, so like I said, I'm using Crepe Paper Magical Forest. That will be all of my DT assignments for this month. I have started off by taking a photo of my little boy playing on our new play equipment in our garden, I've pulled out the title Let's Play from the chipboard and I've stuck that right there on my guillotine just so that I don't forget about it. Sometimes I have particular elements I want to use and then I find that I've put too much on the page and I can't fit it in. So I thought if I have it there right next to me, then I won't forget that that's what I'm going to try and use. Okay, so I really love that golden paper. It's got the gold kind of crosshatch on it. It's a really lovely colour. I've cut a larger piece of that to stick on the left hand side. I've gone for a white paper background at the moment, although I am going to put a border around it later. I wanted to mirror the gold colour in my cluster at the top as well, and then on the sketch it should be going horizontally, but I played around with it for quite a while and I just couldn't make it work, so I've put it vertically and I'm much happier with how that's looking. I do extend those clusters more. I really loved those flags that were on the chipboard, Crepe Paper chipboard elements sheet, so that's what I've got going along, kind of linking my photo towards my cluster at the top as well. Just by spreading the cluster on the left out towards the right a bit, that really helped balance things. So I decided to trim down my cardstock, so I wanted to put a border on this layout. It was just looking very, very stark and white. The sketch didn't lend itself to lots of white space and not so much pattern paper, although of course I could have used a pattern paper background, but on this occasion I thought I'd stick with white, I wanted to really make the gold colour stand out, which is why I went in that direction. So now I have stitched through those two pieces of gold. So I took my photo and everything else off, and I stitched through with a couple of straight lines of straight stitching, and then over on the right hand side just one line of straight stitching, and both of them I did zigzag, very close together zigzags all the way down as well, and that again ties the two together, brings them together, makes them match. Now I have distressed the edges of my white cardstock and I'm sticking that to a pattern paper frame. So I went for the kind of orangey colour. It's a really lovely colour, I really love it. I really hate brown generally, that's not my favourite colour, but this is not brown, it's kind of like a orangey rusty colour and I really love it. You know, it reminds me of brown, but it isn't. It's kind of a pinky orangey colour. I don't know what colour it is, I should probably look it up or something. I'm using that as my background around the edge or my border, and I'm going to bring a bit more of that paper in shortly as well. So right now I'm just going through the ephemera pieces and working out which pieces I could use on this layout. So the sketch itself was fairly minimal in true Laura Rumble style, I felt that I had to add a few bits and pieces to it, so I'm just adding some extra layers behind my photo. So onto the left of my photo I'm going to add a tag with rainbows all over it and another little label sticker. The tag with rainbows, I'm just adding gold thread around the hole, and just to say that if you haven't seen this collection in person, it has really pretty copper foil elements. So a lot of the ephemera has bits of copper foil in it, which is really pretty. So the tag that I've just used, the little hole for the tie is gold copper, and various other things are as well. I don't think I've put any on the layout yet, but I'll point them out when I put them on. So yeah, I've also fussy cut some rainbows. So that rainbow sheet with all the little cute rainbows on all over it is so adorable. I have cut out a few of the rainbows, just 2 on this occasion, and use them as embellishments. So rather than a flat piece of paper, I've cut them out, raised them up on foam pads, and I'm calling those embellishments. So this little bear that I'm just adding here, I've taken from the middle of the journaling card that I mounted my photo on. So the cut apart sheet was full of sweet little elements. I mostly use my cut apart sheets to mount photos because it gives me extra bits of pattern, but I normally, if there's any elements on them that I really like, then I normally cut those out first so that I have maximum usage out of the paper. So I cut out the little bear from the middle of the journaling card. I've mounted my photo on the remains of the journaling card and saved the bear for later. So he's now to the right of my title that says Let's Play. And I've added a fox as well from the ephemera. She's very, very cute. Oh, she might be a sticker. She's a sticker. And you can just see that I added a couple more bits of ephemera. So I've added the golden circle above the photo that says Stay Little Forever. And over on the right hand side, I've added another row of flags, so that matched the flags at the bottom as well. Actually, the one at the top is a sticker. That's a copper foiled element too. It's a sticker from the 6x12 sticker sheet, and I've actually raised it on foam pads, so it just didn't look right flat. Because I wanted to overlap it over my piece of chipboard at the top that says Play, Learn, Dream, and it didn't look right stuck flat because it would have been over a different level. So I've just raised it up on foam pads. Yes, it's still sticky, but I've added foam pads in most places, so it should be fine. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything gets stuck down. I've added a few puffy stickers now from the little puffy sticker sheet that also has copper foil elements. So a lot of them are outlined in copper foil, which is pretty cool. I've not seen anything quite like that before. So I've just added a few of those, mainly hearts. I've added another heart sticker from the 6x12 flat sticker sheet, and I'm just making sure that my little characters and everything else is stuck down. I also added some gold thread to the left of the bear and poking out from under my photos. I added gold thread over on the left hand side as well, above the house and behind the house and on the tag. The little house was appropriate because this is a layout about staying home, so the house was appropriate there, and also this play equipment is in our garden, so that works well. I just felt that the layout needed grounding a little bit. There was a bit too much white space, so I cut a large strip of the same background paper, that's the border, and I stuck that at the bottom. I just felt that that kind of gave it a bit of grounding, and then I added another piece of the gold to bring that in as well. So there's a small strip of the gold, and that's going horizontally across where that wide strip at the bottom is as well. So that's all coming together. Oh, now I'm adding the thread. Sorry, I thought I did it earlier, but I'm adding it now, the one to the left of the photo. Yeah, I'm nearly done. I'm happy with how it's looking. It is a bit of a variation on the sketch. It's not exactly the same, but I think it's recognisable as being there. I'm impressed that I managed to get my cluster at the top to extend horizontally as well as vertically, because that was giving me a real problem at the beginning. Okay, so I'm just writing in my journaling. I'm using a very fine tipped black pen, and it says, "You are such a fun loving boy, always playing and joining in with the big ones, no matter what they are doing. You are fearless." So that's my little journaling, and I am just splattering with gold paint as well. And that's me done. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed my first day out for Lottie Loves Paper. Delighted to be on the team. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. And you can find the Crepe Paper Magical Forest collection in the shop. Links below. Thanks so much. Happy scrapping.